Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game. It's just finished. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 1 at the London Stadium. An absolute wonder goal by Sebastian Haller, but we'll get on to that in a little bit. As always, going to take you through the few highlights, because there was a few, not many, but there was a few. We're going to discuss them with an overall look at the end. Gonzo, well, we had to wait a little while, but how do you think we started in the game before the goal?
Okay, nothing particularly special. It was difficult, Geo. We had a lot of players not performing, and two or three that did really. We kept on trying to put crosses over though. We kept on trying to get the balls in the box, and nothing was just happening. We lacked a sort of cutting edge. Really there. So we were strong down the right side. Declan Rice was trying to impose himself on the game. Actually, not trying. Declan Rice was playing like Glenn Hoddle out there and looked like the best player, the best midfielder, let's say, on the pitch at the time. So, yeah, okay to a point, but without any real cutting edge. And once it was like we were knocking on the door and no one was answering. It happened 2 or 3 times. Just thought, it ain't going to happen here, basically. And I just felt at that point, but we're lacking a centre forward, basically. And it was, I thought it was quite frustrating to watch, actually.
I thought we were poor in the first half. I thought we looked okay for the first few minutes of the game, and I thought we looked okay the last 10 minutes of the first half. But the bit in the middle, I thought while we were poor, I thought Palace were very good. I thought they were the better team, a bit more organised. They looked a bit more up for it for whatever reason. They looked fitter than us, which is rare. I think we almost got out Moised by Crystal Palace, if you like. It was almost like Crystal Palace were the David Moyes team in this game. And I know, I'm aware that's very insulting to Roy Hodgson, but this is a West Ham fan channel. So Palace fans, shh. But you were very good. I thought they were very good. I thought Zaha had the run of the London Stadium in the first half, actually. He was getting in areas and he was making things happen. And I think Soufal was doing very well up against Eze and Zaha when required. So I think Zaha kept going over to the other side of the pitch and sort of doubling up on Aaron Creswell over there with Townsend, and I think that was causing us all sorts of bother a little bit. I think they were a better team, and by the time it come round to 34 minutes, it was a deserved 1-0 lead in my opinion, it was a deserved 1-0 lead for Crystal Palace, and good play down the right. Now, Gonzo, in the pre-match build-up, you said Joe Ward
Benteke was going to score.
You said Joe Ward does not get forward well. You said, don't worry about Joe Ward, right back. He's good defensively, doesn't get forward very well. Joe Ward popped up, whipped the cross, and there was Christian Benteke. I say, not said it for a while actually, I'm going to bring my favourite question. Show me a goal, and I'll show you a mistake.
Yes. I mean, look, it was funny enough, it wasn't dissimilar to our goal in that sense, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was a great ball in, actually. I thought he played the ball into the space. It wasn't a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, let's say. I mean, I don't know. I'm really annoyed with the goal, actually, because I did think, and an overhead kick has not changed my opinion on this at all. I thought the difference between the two teams was a centre forward, and I thought it was a centre forward's goal, and the way he just lost. I'd say he lost Diop lost him. I don't care, whoever. I thought it was pretty bad on that. I don't blame Ogbonna for that one. Although, don't get me wrong, Ogbonna didn't have a good game today, by the way. Ogbonna was completely bullied by Christian Benteke, and it shouldn't have been a surprise. You're right, I did get it wrong for the Ward thing, but I said in the preview, and I said beforehand, that Benteke was going to play well and Benteke was going to score, and it shouldn't have been any surprise to anyone. He was starting to come into the form of the Benteke of Aston Villa, the Benteke that Liverpool paid 30-odd million for. It shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone. He's hit some form, and I thought he ragdolled our centre halves. Actually, he's an absolute brute of a centre forward, and it was the ball was played into the space, and he just went for the space. Diop didn't seem to want to guard the space at all, and he finished it well. Don't get me wrong; it was a good goal, but it was a standard goal. But it was actually the sort of goal we should have scored 2 or 3 of those before Palace had already scored. It's just every time we were doing that, it's just there was nobody in there. I mean, it was so that's why it annoyed me. I thought, well, hold on, Where's our one of them? Where's our fella heading the ball in? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I thought Ali played well in the first half. I just didn't think he got any service. I thought the crosses, when they did go in, were crap. They were just awful. They were very under hit or over hit or something. There was none of that. There wasn't. At least Ward actually put into the right space for a centre forward to go and attack. Ali never had that in the first half. I thought he was working hard up front, but the service was just next to nothing. We barely got out. We barely got into Crystal Palace's third. And when we're done, I'll tell you something. In the first half, the body language I saw from Jared Bowen every time we lost the ball, if you put that on Sebastian Allaire, there would have been an outrage. Bowen was losing the ball various times, throwing his arms around and stuff. And when he did go to cross, I don't think his crosses were good enough. I think our best crosser of the game was someone that went on to get this is for Sebastian Allaire and Sofal. But again, for Niles, no creativity from him. I thought Ben Rama was struggling. I thought they were suffocating Ben Rama very well. But every time he got the ball, there was 2 or 3 Palace players around him. And then when I saw Zaha get the ball, we only had 1 at best up against him. I thought, Christ almighty, there's a difference in terms of game plan defensively, and theirs was working more than ours. And I thought whenever Bowen did cross it, I don't think it was good enough. I think, listen, I thought Ali was dreadful against Leeds. Tonight, I thought the first half he was a bit anonymous, but it wasn't his fault. I just thought we just did not get moving whatsoever. Benteke, possibly the best move of the game by Crystal Palace, come down the right hand side. Christian Benteke flicked it, but it was into Fabianski's hand. Then Jared Bowen forced a decent save from Guetta.
Sorry, just before you do, Sufal crossed the ball over and Fornell's headed wide.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. The thing is, Fornell's isn't really. I almost give Fornell's a pass when it comes to heading because he's just not very. Do you know what I mean? You look at him, he's not really someone to expect to head the ball. Anywhere on the pitch, but
it was a good chance, and that's what I'm saying. At that point,
it was a good chance.
We were creating from crosses, but it's a case of sorry, Gio, I interrupted them, but it was always a case of hold on, the ball's going to have to come in from wide. If you're not going to do that, then it sort of falls down in the margins. Really, what are we going to do? We then ran out of ideas. I felt,
but this is why I didn't want to see Fornals start because I thought. This is not the game for Pablo Fornals. We need as much creativity on that pitch as possible while keeping some form of discipline in the team. And I just felt his position today, his hard work ethic and stuff was not null and void, but I didn't think we needed it today. I didn't think it was a case of, if we work hard, we'll do better. But because Palace will work just as hard, we had to be better than Crystal Palace at football today in order to win today. You know, at half time it was 1-0 Palace, but we were not fortunate. It was only 1-0. I don't think Palace deserved to be that far ahead, but they certainly deserved a lead in the first half. I felt they were the better team. We did change up at half time, and I did think we were better in the second half, but it was disappointing to see sort of how poor we were, if you want. I think we played into Crystal Palace's hands a little bit with the way we were playing in the first half. But generally, the first half, what did you think after the goal and so on and so forth?
I was just struggling to see how we would get back into it for that exact reason. Now, you mentioned Ben Rama. Ben Rama will play well for West Ham in many games, but he was too weak for that game today. You can see why they went for Eze, because he's not only is he skillful, he's strong as well. And it's funny actually because I've said quite a lot this season that teams will come up against West Ham and think, well, thank goodness we only got to play them one more time, or we ain't got to play them again, or something like that. I feel like that against Crystal Palace. I thought they were a complete pain in the what's-it. And I've got to tell you what, I've got to do, because I think they played hard but fair, by the way. When Cresswell, I was really impressed with this. When Cresswell looked like he might be injured, he was sort of hopping. Townsend could have just got that ball off him and scored a sort of not scored, but gone on a naughty attack, which wouldn't be very sportsmanlike. Townsend actually said to Cresswell, "Go kick that ball out, mate." And Cresswell kicks it out. I thought it was really sportsmanlike to do that, by the way. But the rest of the time they played it really, really hard, and it was too hard for Ben Rama to impact the game. But I did feel at half time we weren't going to get anything out of the game because we had no creativity at all, which obviously went on to try and sort out at half time.
Yeah, the halftime substitution Lanzini come on for Pablo Fernandes. We didn't have to wait too long, just 10 minutes into the second half. It was 1-1 ball in from the right in. He scores more goals like this than he does any other way, doesn't he? What a goal. It was like an overhead kick / bicycle kick into the top corner as well. If you handed him the ball and said, where do you want this to land? He would have said, up there please. He just smashes it into that top corner. I mean, what a finish is that?
Yeah, it was just a tremendous goal, really, and obviously tried it in the previous game, and it didn't quite work. He got it a little bit too low in the previous game. This game he's tried it, and he's gone on there. And you're right, he will continue to score those goals, and he'll always score those goals. It was excellent, and an excellent cross, just very 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 good. Wonder goal, really. Yeah, I was jumping around in here, knocked my chair over, knocked my Pringles over. Had a chair. And I thought at that point, we were. I wouldn't say in the ascendancy, but it was the first little glimmer of hope for the game. And what I really liked about that goal as well was Lanzini had played his part, so Lanzini waited and held on to the ball. Because Lanzini's so good on the ball, players don't... Basically, with Lanzini, people either try and tackle him immediately to try and get the ball off him, or the moment he's got the ball under control, they sort of stand off him because he's so good with the ball. And he waited. Sufel made the overlapping run. He played a nice ball through. It wasn't the obvious one because he was looking that way. Played that. Ball came over. I thought it was a nice goal. And I thought, this is it now. Lanzini's going to start getting into the game. And I also think it didn't actually work out, funny enough, but I thought Benrahma and Lanzini, the two occasions I've seen them on the pitch at the same time that I can recall, they seem to be on the same wavelength. So at that point, I thought, okay, we might have enough creativity to break them down now.
See, we did finally put in a decent cross and see what happens, eh? I just thanks.
It wasn't 4 nails on the end of it.
thanks to James Gunn, he's just put £2 into the super chat, and he said Pete F has fewer assists than FA in his last 30 starts. I assume Fernandes. Who the hell is FA?
Felipe Anderson.
Yeah, there you go. Crikey, that's not good, is it? Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Thank you, James. Anyway, yes, so 1-1 Sebastian Haller, I thought it was a fantastic goal. It was a really worked team goal as well. The individualness of the strike will sort of overshadow the move prior to the goal, but I thought the build-up was good. I thought we were starting to look a little bit better in the second half as well. I thought Lanzini was making a slight difference. He's just like his technique, and like you said, when he gets it, he sort of asks questions of the defenders before he does anything. As soon as he's got in possession, straight away defenders, they're alert. They're like thinking, crikey, this guy's on the ball, gonna have to watch what we do. Whereas you don't really get that vibe when Solskjaer or Fernandes get the ball. The midfielders are almost happy to go in at them and go, come on then, let's have a 50-50 battle for it. And 10 minutes, 15 minutes later though, red card for Christian Benteke. 2 bookable offences for very identical things. Both times went up for the ball. That old arm up thing, both times a yellow card. What do you make of these bookings? Because they're very, very similar.
Okay, well, there's 2 sides to this story. All right, the first one is he should never have been sent off, really. Okay, the first one, all right, but he deserved to be because he was silly. The first one was never a booking, and I'm not saying the first one was worse than the second one, but there was no. You've got to jump, all right. That's his job in the team, right? His job is to be the big guy that jumps up in the air and heads the ball, and actually did today. And it is a contact game. That's why neither of the penalties were penalties. Benrahma's wasn't a penalty, right? Zaha's wasn't a penalty. It's a contact game. You didn't elbow anyone in the face or anything like that. He had his arm up, all right? It wasn't nasty. Nobody got injured. It was absolutely fine. He had his arm up there, right? So it shouldn't have been a yellow card to start with. He shouldn't have gone off the pitch. That being said, he should have been bright enough to think, oh, crikey, this referee's being a bit weak with that. I won't do it the next time, which is a shame. But so they're almost both true. He shouldn't have got sent off, but he should have got sent off for his own stupidity, and not for he didn't. It's funny. It's a thing in rugby. They always say in rugby, adapt to the referee. Every referee has his slight different interpretation of the rules, and Benteke didn't adapt to the referee in that one. But I don't think he should be getting sent off for that.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are bookings. I think this is just ridiculous. Football's gone. I tell you something, it's the referee's crap. It's Coote. We had him at Villa. He's just a rubbish referee, and he got that wrong. The first one was never a booking. I don't think any West Ham player was claiming for him to be, but was it a free kick? Yeah, it is, because there is contact. But there's absolutely zero intention. He's got his eyes fixed on the ball and solely on the ball. He's got to use his arms to jump. It's an unfortunate accident. That's all it is. Ogbonna gets it in the face. Yes, it's probably a nippy one. Yes, it's a free kick to West Ham. But that's all it is. The next battle in here, Ogbonna will clock him one back with his arm or something, just because it's the way it is. When you go for headers, that's something that's going to happen. I get what you're saying about the second one. He should have been a bit more careful, but at the same time, what's he supposed to do? Stop jumping with his arms? He's got to continue.
No, but it's what you say. It's him. No, actually, this referee's useless. I better watch myself.
But he doesn't always know. You don't always know exactly where the defender is. You're watching the ball. You're going up with your arm out, knowing there's a defender coming. You don't know where he is. He could be right behind you. Could be there. It's just, unfortunately for Christian Benteke, I guess. Unfortunately for West Ham. But the game's ruined. If that's the type of stuff we saw it with Andy Carroll, big man goes up for a header, yellow card offence, and there's probably 10 strikers in the Premier League or something against them every single time they got for a header. I used to get frustrated watching it with Andy Carroll. Every time he won a header, the referee would blow and give a free kick against him, and I don't like seeing that. It's a physical game. Yes. Let it be physical. And so checking Ogbonna with the two players that got the clump. Come on, those two players, they weren't even appealing for red cards or anything. There was no dives involved here. They went down, held their face because they got a whack in the face. But, I don't know, it's wrong. I don't think it should be a yellow card for either of them. I get what you're saying about the second one. I can accept that and agree with you. But it's just that ref, he's just a twat. Anyway, we finished 1-1, but what did you make of the second half?
I thought fair play to Palace. They continued to attack. Even with 10 men, they thought they'd have a go. I got very nervous when they had a corner right at the end. I thought, no, please don't. But I mean, we were trying to go for it. He was making his substitutions. Yarmolenko for Bowen, of course. I was so convinced at the end. It actually occurred to me that the Snodgrass one was a defensive. It's funny. I was trying to think so positively. I thought, hey, he's bringing Snodgrass on for a set play so we can score from a set play. So I'm still thinking in my mind we're going to win. Of course, no. In hindsight, he brought him on as a defensive substitution. Do you know what, Geo? I think at the end of the season, it'll be. I seem to say this a lot. I said after we played Fulham, they're improving. This might turn out to be a good result. And, I've said that a couple of times against teams. I think this won't be a bad point at all. I said it last game against Leeds. I said Leeds will put 3 or 4 goals past somebody at some point, and there you go. Crystal Palace will do the same again. Crystal Palace will score 3 or 4 goals again this season, and Crystal Palace will cause teams a lot of trouble. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't good. There's an old adage in boxing which they say styles make fights. You get someone with a good jab against someone that comes in underneath. It creates a good spectacle, a good show. I think there's a little bit of that in football, and I think we saw the two teams being a bit crap today, and it didn't make for a great spectacle. But Crystal Palace will beat better teams than West Ham as well. So I think actually a point is not bad at all for West Ham. I think a point is probably not bad for Palace, in as they spent some of the game down to 10 men. That may cost them a little bit, I think, quite possibly, because in fixture congestion, the last thing you need is to be running round with only 10 men. You have to all work a lot harder. I think that's the last thing they need with fixture pile up coming. For us, I mean, we take the point. It's still form. It's still good. We're not rolling over. We're not having our tummy tickled. We went behind in the game and we came back. And that's a really good thing. Individually, there's things to address. But the team spirit and organisation remains sound.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play a poor game generally and come out with a draw against a side who's played well, I think is a very good point to get out with. I'm happy with the result. A point at home to Palace good enough? Probably not. But is 4 points at home to Palace and away to Leeds good enough? Absolutely. So you've got to look at it as a bigger picture as well as a smaller one. And I think tonight I thought we were poor in parts, but at the same time I thought there was bits that we were quite good at. I thought we looked a lot better when Lanzini came onto the pitch as well, and I think Pablo Fernandes maybe just lost his starting position for the next game. I think this is maybe one sort of subpar performance too many now, and before, when you took Fernandes off and you put a player on, that player maybe perhaps didn't perform well enough in order to say sorry, David. But I think Lanzini's come on and looked that little bit classier. That says to David Moyes, actually, I can and should go and replace Pablo Fornals. So yeah, it's a really good point. I said in the build-up show, we turn up tonight 10 out of 10 performances, we will win. However, we only turn up with 7 out of 10. Well, it's enough against Fulham. Sheffield United is not going to be enough against Palace. So I'm not surprised it's finished a draw. I think it's a fair result. I think both teams will be content with it. I think Palace might be a bit bittersweet for them. I think they might have a sour taste in their mouth with the red card to Benteke. You can see the reaction of the Palace players when he actually took the second yellow out. You can see a lot of them thinking, hang about, mates, because at least give him a final warning kind of thing and say, Christian, one more of them, that's your second yellow. There was none of that. It was just like 2 errors and that's you, out of here. But so I think Palace would be a bit livid about that red card, because that did sort of knock him a little bit. It opened up the space a little bit, and I thought we looked a little bit better. I thought we started to stretch the game a little bit more. 1 or 2 good performers tonight, but I thought there was one in particular I thought it was a bit iffy, so we'll get onto that in a second. But before we do, the live chat, Gonzo's been speaking about one player in particular, and Dylan has kindly put in $2 Aussie to ask about this player in particular. Soufal, you're not his biggest fan, neither am I, to be fair, but they wanted to know what your thoughts on his performance was tonight.
No, listen, I'm not his biggest fan, but unfortunately you say you're not the biggest fan. You say you call him crap. I'm not calling him crap. I just don't think he's. I've said I don't think we don't look at him and think, hey, £5 million, hey, bargain. We got a £25 million player there. Today was a complete performance from Soufal. I thought it was everything you would possibly want. I thought it was operating in the most difficult area of the pitch, and because Palace's best players operate there, by the way, I thought he won. I thought he won against Eze. I thought he won against Zaha. I thought he was his first challenge. He won. I thought he started as he was about to go on. He had defensive solidity. He was there. He had positional sense, and he had the quality. The 2 best crosses that we produced. One to Fornals, headed wide. Sebastian Haller, overhead kick, and he also did another very nice cross in the game as well. I thought he looked really comfortable. I thought he looked really good. I'll tell you now, he will be my man of the match, as Dylan has kindly put in $2. And yeah, really good, really good performance. They'll be gutted. Palace will be gutted about that, because they won't come up against that many on that side. They won't come up against many right backs who play as well as he did. And look, whilst I said Benteke, I don't think Benteke deserved to be sent off. I think he should have got the first yellow card. I didn't think Joe Ward, when he shoved, I thought that's fine. It's a contact sport with Ben Rama. Shouldn't have been there. So I'm going to go on a witch hunt here. I thought Palace played well. I think they're a good team. I would defend any of their players. But I tell you what, I thought what Zaha tried to do to Soufal was nothing short of cheating. He's just a cheat. Well, I mean, he's just a cheat. He's a skillful player, right? But he basically rolled the ball past him, didn't try and go for the ball, and then just ran into Soufal. It's just cheating. It's just dishonest. It's not nice, and I hate seeing it. It's they got a lot of, and I praised chalk and cheese. Andros Townsend, wonderful sportsmanship. What we saw there, absolutely brilliant. You know, an example to anyone. Andros Townsend. That wants to be true, wants to be honest, wants to be sporting. Zaha, an example to anyone that wants to cheat and do things. Basically, he couldn't do it through his skill, so he thought he'd try and cheat, and I thought it was disgusting.
I completely agree with the Zaha thing. I think it frustrates me because there's a player with so much talent there, and he is one of the best. I thought we saw it in the first half. I thought in the first half we saw Zaha getting his tail up, and I thought he was licking his lips a little bit. I think he was up for it. And this is why I cannot like him as a player. He's got this petulant streak about him. He's got this self-entitled attitude. It's even the little things. So like a throw-in down the far end of the pitch could go could go our way, and you'll start moaning. You'll walk up to the lines and start moaning. I think, what are you doing? Just shut up and get on with it. And his attitude's just. It almost overshadows his talent to me. There's some players that can be a little bit moany, a bit divey, like Mo Salah. We all know Mo Salah likes to dive, but he doesn't moan or anything, so you can almost ignore it to an extent and just appreciate the talent. But Zaha just has this horrible black cloud above him which says, forget the talent, forget about my footballing ability, because this is going to overshadow. And it's just a shame, because we saw it in streaks today. We saw the good side and the bad side of Zaha today. As for Vladimir Kufal, he's like Zabaleta with a bit more speed, isn't he? I think he's fantastic. The first 5-10 minutes I was a bit worried, because he was putting in sort of meaty tackles and stuff, and Zaha, and I thought, Christ, like, they skip past him once, he does that, he's in the book straight away, and he's got another 80 minutes to go here. I thought, blimey hell, he's not hanging back. But he didn't need to, he won every single tackle. He was just superb, and I thought, after about 20 minutes or something, I felt like Zaha moved over to the other side of the pitch. I felt that Zaha thought, I'm not battling this guy. Saw Aaron Creswell get injured in the 20 minutes. I thought, whatever. I thought, here we go, I'm going over to that side of the pitch. I felt Zaha stayed away from Kufal for most of the game, because whenever he went near him, Sufal won the battle. I thought Sufal was just unbelievable. He's a much better right back than a right wing back, though. I will say that.
In this game, to give it context, Geo, actually his immediate partners, the two players he could make partnerships with in the game, in Diop and Bowen, both didn't play well. So for him to play well when those immediately around him were playing badly makes it even more impressive.
I think he's better as a conventional right back, though, because his attacking play isn't. It's funny enough, actually. I think today was his best attacking performance for West Ham, despite having less attacking responsibilities to do, almost. And we saw him right wing back, and I think his crossing can be frustrated and whatever. But today I thought his crossing was bang on, I thought his tackling was bang on, his positioning, we've never really complained about his position or that, or his work ethic or that on here. But I thought it was superb. My man match as well. So yeah, the end of the show's ruined. But apart from Vladimir, individual performers, take your pick.
Declan Rice. I'm pleased for Declan today, because I do think, I don't know why I seem to be on this crusade to prove to anybody that's not a West Ham fan that Declan Rice is the real deal, but I'm pleased for Declan today, because I think he would have gone up again. Crystal Palace fans might have looked at him and thought, oh, okay, yeah, this is why, the way he was pinging the ball around, the tack. I mean, he made some wonderful interceptions as well. Dispossessed Zaha a couple of times himself. Really, really good. Had a couple of shots as well. The last shot was really good, Gio. You know that there ain't a lot of difference between that hitting that thingy, whatever it's called, that holds the net up, the pole. Hitting the pole, not Fabianski. It hit the pole, and that would have been the wrong goal, wouldn't it? There's not much in that, and him curling it in the top corner. Range of passing, switching of play, absolutely sensational. Little gap between the two. There'll be a little gap between Miljevic and MacArthur. It sort of looked like he was about to turn to pass back to centre-backs, drop his shoulder, and then run between them and dribble between them. I mean, this is just good. This is general play, mate. He's becoming an all-round midfielder. I thought it was really impressive. Had Sufal not played as well as he did, then he would have got he would have obviously got man of the match. Hard. I don't think he played very well today.
No.
Lanzini, for the period he was on the pitch, but he looked our best player as well when he came on. So I would chuck him in with Sufal and Declan in terms of, just looked really good, didn't he? I'm struggling really. Cresswell was all right, and aside from that, I thought it was funny. The moment Benteke went off, Ogbonna looked like the best centre back in the league again. Dominated. See him going over people, bang, head in it, tackles and all the rest of it. But Benteke dominated the pair of them. Diop's going to struggle to keep that. Diop won't keep that place surely if Balbuena's back and fit for the next game. So I thought he had a pretty bad game, really, pretty terrible.
He was stinking, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was stinky.
He was worried. He was a real worry, and that's what I was worried about when I had the corner right at the end. I thought, and I was pleased. Obviously, Benteke was off the pitch, but look, I mean, to have that many, for me to pick out three players, let's say, that played well and one that played all right, and we've come out of a point, then that's okay, because there were some below par performances as well. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I'll get the negative ones done first. I thought Diop was shocking. I thought he was awful. I thought he was lucky to come back out for the second half, to be honest with you. And about 2 minutes into the second half, he was lying on the deck on the touch line after being caught in possession, trying to catch the ball. And then when the ball got cleared, he was complaining to the referee. If I was the referee, I'd have said, deal, mate, it's your fault. You lost possession and then lay there. And you try to do that thing where you catch the ball so the referee has to give a fee. You still can't even do that. You still missed it. He just had a really bad performance day up. I did worry a little bit before the game. Zaha, Benteke, Eze overall that side. It's a difficult trio to come up against, but I do think he made it easier for Benteke to an extent for some of it. I thought Fornals was just...
I forgot about him.
He's anonymous. He's just... it's just frustrating. But I thought Jared Bowen's frustrating at times as well. Like I said, I don't think... In the first half, I thought he lost the ball far too many times, but his attitude when he lost the ball was like, and I just thought, right, you, my friend, you need to just... zip it. And I thought our set pieces were awful tonight, by the way. I thought our set pieces were pretty crap, and he was culpable for taking some of them. But if you put he's just lucky he's such a likeable player, Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen's very likeable. It's almost like you're not allowed to say a bad word about him at sometimes. But if you took his demeanour in the first half and put in Sebastian Haller, there would be outrages. There'd be a montage of Sebastian Haller going in 45 minutes against Crystal Palace. So sort it out, Jared. But I thought Creswell was fine. I thought Bonner was alright, to be honest. Fabianski didn't do anything wrong. I thought Soufal, man of match. Souček was iffy. It was a difficult role for him tonight. I thought he was okay. He wasn't good, wasn't bad. He was okay. I thought Bowen was okay. While I'm complaining about him, I thought he was okay. I thought Rice was just unbelievable. He's just getting better and better at this box-to-box role. I thought Ben Rama looked good, but he was just suffocated. Every time he got the ball, 2-3 Palace players on there. I'd like to see him moved for the next game, get him out the middle of the pitch, put him on the left, and give him an opponent to go one-on-one with. Because if you put him in the middle, it's easy for teams to double up on him. Put him out in the wing, it's tricky. And if they want to double up, that's fine, but you're forcing a centre midfielder right out to the side of the pitch to help out the right back. You're dragging someone in the middle of the park. They don't have to go out of position. They can both just stand there, bang. Just a massive thank you to Iron X1 who's just put $4.99 into the super chat. He said, my birthday in a couple of hours. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for the effort you guys put in. Iron X, happy birthday. Hope you have a fantastic day. And thank you for the biscuit fund. But anyway, back to the individual players. So that's that. And Sebastian Haller, I'm going to defend. I thought he didn't get service tonight, Gonzo. I didn't think he got the service. I saw him putting in effort. In the first half, he chased someone all the way back to our box, you know. I thought he put in effort, took his goal superbly well. And after Leeds game, when he missed a lot of chances, people said, yeah, but you know, there's only one stat that matters for a goal scorer. Goals. He didn't score, therefore it's a crap game. Well, tonight he scored, so does that mean he's had a good game? Because you can't have it both ways. Just, you know, you've either batter him for... I know you didn't say this, by the way, but other people have said, a striker's there for one thing, put the ball in net. If he doesn't score, it's a bad game. Well, tonight he's put the ball in net, so by that notion, he's got to have had a good game. I don't think he had a good game. I thought he had an alright game. He just wasn't involved in the play enough to have a good one. But I felt the effort was there. I liked what I saw from Sebastian. Would I start him in the next game? Yes, I would. And I thought Lanzini looked brilliant when he came on. Anyway, final thoughts, please, Gonzo. Actually, before I get Gonzo's final thoughts, just quickly, the last couple of review videos, we've had some people say, "Oi, why didn't you talk about this player? Oi, why didn't you talk about that player?" It's because we do a player rating series for the Patreon channel, so we can't talk about every player in depth. Otherwise, the player ratings video would be pretty crap, really. So we have to hold a little bit back for the player ratings video. What's that all about? The link's in the description. It's £4 a month. So if you can spare £4 a month to support the channel, check out. There's other tiers as well, but the lowest one's £4 a month. You get player rating series and a Patreon podcast and some other bits and pieces. Anyway, Gonzo.
By the way, let me just say to the patrons, because
I think wait, hang on. I think I can push a button here. Charlie made something. I think if I push a button, it comes up. Oh, look at that! Beautiful. I know you can't. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
I'll just say to the patrons, I won't be able to I won't be able to answer my critics with a live show tomorrow because I'm busy. That's all I'm saying, like I did after the last game.
Brilliant. Anyway, final thoughts on the game, please, Gonzo.
I didn't enjoy it, but I'm pleased. We are a team with determination, grit, and all of those things. And this result at the end of the season will look like a good point. It was also very important, Geo. I think our next game's Chelsea. It was really important we didn't go into the Chelsea game with a loss. And so look, we take it. I said I don't particularly. Thank goodness we don't have to play Crystal Palace again. But we do. We have to play them once, and actually, I look forward to playing them again. But with Antonio back, because I think you see a very, very different game then. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but we take a point.
A good point. A good point. Two very hard-working teams. You could say that David Moyes, Roy Hodgson, David Moyes. I thought it was a very even game. Both teams with similar setups. Both teams with similar work ethics and similar tactics, similar set pieces. It's not a bad thing. Joe Ward producing an assist.
It's very rare.
Everyone knew Joe Ward would do well going forward tonight, except one man.
I tell you what, I did. I did think to myself, damn it! And I said beforehand, no, I know someone's going to take this and clip it, but they won't be taking a clip of me saying Benteke was going to score, and you saying, oh no, we won't do Benteke, we'll do Zaha.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that one. Anyway, we're going to disappear there. Two happy hammers despite the point. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Myself and Gonzo
Happy birthday, Ionix.
Happy birthday, Ionix. Myself and Gonzo are off to record the player vacancy. So patrons, we'll see you in a bit.